afternoon, and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Providence Holy Cross Medical Center. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Kevin McDonald,
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And our first guest, our only guest today, is Alyssa Janney, and she's with Esteem Health. Good to see you.
Well, thank you for
It's
having
been a
me.
long time.
It has been.
A long time.
Yeah, moved to New
Good
Mexico
heavens.
to help take care of my parents with dementia, and I've been there since 2018. So,
Good heavens. But you've been here since then, though. Didn't you visit here once before?
I did.
2 or 3 years ago?
Yes, good memory.
Yes, I thought it was. That's when I last saw you.
well, welcome back anyway.
Well, that's what happens as you get older.
Right.
Not old, older.
Older.
Nobody
yes.
gets old. They just get older.
There we go.
Yes. So you're here from New Mexico.
Yes, I am.
Wow, that's a long trip.
Well, it's a short flight.
Well, that's true. I guess it is. So what brought you here?
Well, the opportunity to talk to you about what we're doing in Santa Clarita in January.
In January. Oh, that must be this.
It is.
Oh.
All right. Now, Barbara, they can't see that on the radio, so we better explain what this is in January.
Yes, well, that's why I brought it up.
All right.
So have at it, kiddo.
All right, thanks. And wow, to be called a kiddo again. Feels so good.
I know.
What we're doing is we're offering our training called The Art of High Performance Caregiving. And we are offering it, the Remo Music Center is going to be hosting us. And it's January 8th and 9th. And we're pretty excited because this is our first time offering the training in California. So we're very excited about it.
That's wonderful. Well, how did you get into this?
You know, when I was working for Remo, I was involved in managing a program for them called Health Rhythms. And Health Rhythms is an evidence-based program that uses the drum as a tool for communication and personal expression. And
Interesting.
I got to work with a lot of music therapists. That was my good fortune. And found them to be a whole profession full of people that are just looking for ways to use the evidence-based application of music in a way to make the world a better place and make people more connected.
Especially
and whole.
seniors. Especially seniors.
Well, they do a lot of work with seniors because the opportunities are there to make a
That's-
difference.
That's right, because many seniors don't want to go out of their house. They want to stay at home.
Yes.
You know, they feel, well, I'm getting older and I don't look as good as I used to. I don't feel as good as I used to. I don't move as well as I used to. So I'll just stay here. And that's so tempting.
Yes.
It really is, to sit in a chair and just, watch TV or read or whatever you do.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tempting. But as seniors, we need to get out and move.
That's very true. I think that happens in aging care facilities as well as people. Here they've been a part of a neighborhood for their lives, and then for whatever reason they need extra help, or they choose to go and stay in a community so they can have more people their age around them. And then they find out that, they don't feel connected like they did before because they don't know these people. There may be a whole group of strangers. And so what we're trying to do is with Esteem Health, is not just the caregiver training, but we're creating an arts and healthcare ecosystem for aging care communities. And the idea being that we want to create health revitalization centers in these places. So maybe people that would prefer to stay at home one day will think, I want to go there because,
Right.
That's pretty hopping place. Probably like people think about the senior center now is, I want to go there because it's a pretty happening place and, there's just a lot of things to do and they have a way of making me feel better.
Yeah, well, we have a large community of seniors in this area. We really do. And it seems to be getting more and more.
It is. I mean, the population's growing. By the time we get to 2030, it'll be the largest we've ever had in this country.
Wow.
And it's just going to, between 2030 and 2040, it's going to go up. It's about 12% of the population now. By that time, it'll be 24% of the population. That's a huge increase. And thus a need for different types of health provision and
Yes.
for caregivers and for different formats to help people get along. I think that's what STEAM is all about. Am I right?
Yes, I mean, the arts and healthcare ecosystem idea is kind of a whole person model of care, but using the evidence-based application of the arts. So we're not, Remo used to always says, no snake oil.
Right.
So I'm a firm believer, no snake oil, but there is evidence that the arts are able, in an evidence-based application, to help accomplish certain things that are very important. You know, the reduction of depression symptoms, the improvement of mood states, so many things from heart rate variability, to be able to regulate heart rate, to be able to, goodness, it'll come to me, but there's a whole long list of things that can be accomplished through the arts. And as the research continues, there are more and more things. That it's not that it's a cure-all.
Right.
The arts are not a cure.
But it'll
But
help
it's
a person.
it's a change, a way of changing life and becoming more engaged and active in life, and being more active and engaged, as you know, from the senior center, really helps people to have a better quality of life and be more active, which serves us all.
Absolutely. And I think, when you kept saying evidence-based, for the general audience, when we apply for funds and everything else, when we do any practice, evidence-based is the key. Because if it doesn't have evidence behind it, no one's going to
Right.
say, is it worthwhile pursuing this?
Right.
And I think you've made the point several times already. This is evidence-based. This has been proven by whoever that
Right.
it works and it helps for those lists. I mean, just lowering depression and making people feel
And
more
anxiety,
alive,
yeah.
and anxiety and all those different things that the population is going through. And you
Yeah.
have a product, so to speak, through the arts that's been proven.
Yeah.
Am I off on that? Is
No,
that
no, sounds
that's-
good. You're hired.
There you go. And then
Okay,
share
you got a second.
share with us what kind of arts it is, because I know, but you share with us what realm of the arts world that you're bringing here.
You know what? Music is the most researched.
Yes.
And there's a lot of wonderful evidence about the benefits of research. The neuroscience community is particularly interested in the research of music. There's also a lot of interesting research coming up about sound, as far as the vibrations, frequencies. And there are some specific frequencies which I tested out with my father when my father had Alzheimer's and was really having difficulty with his receptive language. So I'd say something to him and he thought I said something else, or because all of a sudden he'd be angry or
Yeah.
couldn't process. And so I had read some research where they used 40 hertz to help someone that had Alzheimer's to be able to communicate better, to answer questions on a sheet that they were asking in a survey. And so my sister was sitting across the table from me, and I just put 40 hertz next to my dad on the table and just left it and acted like nothing was there. And he started to be able to articulate. And she just looked at me and she said, "That's amazing." And it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like it's a giant change that you notice, but small changes are huge, in being able. I mean, that's been
very true.
one of the things that I've learned that maybe was the most surprising to me, was how huge little things can be, because they snowball. And you'll know exactly what I mean when I tell you what happened with my mother, which was really the reason I decided to pursue this. Because when I moved to New Mexico, I thought, well, my cost of living will be lower there, and I'll be able to travel back to visit my parents to help out more. And my first conversation with my sister and them, I said, maybe Mom and Dad would feel better if they got to get out and do something fun. And so why don't they come with me to New Mexico and see the balloon fiesta? It was a bucket list item, for just about everybody. And so brought them, they came with me to go to Balloon Fiesta and never went home.
You
They
mean
had
the hot air balloon?
Yes.
Oh, I've been there and been up in that balloon.
nice.
Oh, I
Huh?
love it. I
It's
love
so
it.
peaceful, isn't it?
Oh,
I just love
it's
that.
the most wonderful experience I have ever had.
Oh, that's great.
It was wonderful. And the wind blew us too close to the Mexican border.
Oh, really?
Yes, and we had to come down because they said it was dangerous. That there were people on that side who didn't want us over there, and they had guns and what have you. So we had to drop down very quickly, and because the wind all of a sudden picked up and whoosh.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
No,
it
you
took
don't
us
have much
right-
control in an
No,
hot air
you
balloon.
don't.
No, you don't.
That's why the gentleman who was coaching it or whatever he does to it decided, no, we've got to get down. And so they took us down.
Yeah.
And
But
then
that was exciting.
oh, it was scary because of what he had said, and I'm thinking, oh, I hope he's going to get us down in time.
Barbara, just stay on your side of the line. That's a lesson here, okay? Stay there, and we're fine.
But that was one of the most incredible
Yeah.
experiences that I had. And I mean, just the hot air balloon ride itself, it's magnificent. And I urge anyone who's in that area to take a hot air balloon ride because they are magnificent. I mean, you're up there, and you're looking down, and and the conversations there, because there's usually about a half a dozen people in the balloon itself, and you've got a leader who knows how to operate the balloon, and he tells you all kinds of things about what you're looking at down below, and it's really I urge everybody who's down there to do it because it's fun. You'll
But let
love
me
it.
follow this story because I was at
Okay.
the Balloon Festival this year. You brought your parents down there one year for the
I
Balloon Festival,
did,
and then they
yes.
stayed.
They did.
And so, what did you do?
So, my dad was, his communication was somewhat impaired, but I could tell that he was frustrated and trying to get more help with Mom. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, Dad, there's apartments down the road from here where if you live there, you can push a button and someone will come and help you with Mom. Would you like to see it? And he goes, yes, I would. Well, he fell in love with the first apartment. And
Okay.
Oh,
the story's kind of funny
wonderful.
because he told me, well, I'll have to discuss with your mother. And I said, of course, Dad. So he came in with his papers and he walked over to where Mom was and he plopped him down on the table and he says, well, I bought us an apartment. We're moving to New Mexico.
Wow.
that was how it went. And
We're
and
doing
was-
it now.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, Dad, you said you were going to discuss this with Mom. I said, Mom, are you okay with this? And she said, as long as he's going to be there. So,
Oh, all right.
but
That's sweet.
they were married 60 years.
Oh my goodness, 60
So,
years.
I know.
That's
And
incredible.
how does that evolve into what you're doing today? Because they moved
Well,
down there, and
They
then
did. Well,
he needed assistance. Clearly,
he did, and I think he felt really stressed because he was having trouble, and yet he felt responsible for making sure Mom was okay. But I was helping to take care of my mother. They lived in a senior community because with both of them with dementia, I didn't feel like I could handle that by myself, and so they moved to a senior living facility, and I noticed at one point that my mother's quality of life had really deteriorated, and in senior care, that's like the top goal, right? Is to have a
Yes.
good quality of life.
Right.
We age and things go wrong and whatever,
Oh,
but as
tell
long
me
as
about it.
but as long as our quality of life, is there, that that's the most
Makes all
important
the
thing.
difference in the world.
Absolutely.
It really does.
So I was worried about Mom because she had gotten to where her core strength was gone, so she had to be propped up with pillows to keep from falling over on the couch. And I noticed that, she couldn't stand by herself anymore. She had to have two people to lift her up, even though she was only about 100 pounds by that time. But 100 pounds of dead weight is, still
That's
can
still
hurt a
heavy.
caregiver's back, so they
Yes.
needed two. And that's part of the snowball thing I want to tell you about.
Okay.
But so, and she couldn't walk, hadn't walked for months, and her speech, her receptive language lasted pretty much till the end of her life. but her expressive language was challenging for her. And so sometimes she'd say a couple of words and then lose her train of thought completely and just
yeah.
stop. Or she would say something, and because her receptive language was still intact, if it came out sounding different than she expected, then she would be shocked, that it sounded, not like what she meant to say. And so I contacted a music therapist that I'd worked with over the years, and that was one of the great joys of working for Remo, was getting to work in the music therapy circles. Just a wonderful, wonderful group of professionals. And I said, can you help me to build a prescriptive playlist for my mother? And I don't know, do you have prescriptive playlists at the senior center? Is anybody doing that kind of stuff?
No, we used it for my brother though, and
Yeah?
we developed a list that would work
Excellent.
for him.
Excellent.
When he had the dementia, and that was important.
And how did that affect him? Did you find it was
No, it
helpful?
brought smiles and brought aliveness, and yeah.
That's awesome.
So why don't you have it at the senior center?
We don't have the need for it right now. It's more the awareness of what can work for people in different stages. So we have an active senior center. But
Yeah.
you're right, for the people who come for classes and for caregivers going out in the community, they need to know this stuff.
Yeah, and if you need a connection to somebody who could help you with that, I can be of assistance there. But so where was I in this story?
You're working with your mom.
So
mother.
so the music therapist helped me with what to include. How do I find out what mom is responding to emotionally? Because she couldn't tell me what music she liked.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went through things that she and I had the same piano teacher, so I knew what songs I had to learn. I thought she probably did too, so she was a way better pianist than I ever thought of being. And so we would listen to her different music, and usually when she would sit down on the couch, she would fall asleep. But when she really liked a piece of music, she was very attentive. And the music would end, and she would say, "They performed that very well," or something like that. And all of a sudden, she was able to articulate in a complete sentence, right? And so that one went on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kept going through music. She loved musicals, so I would go through musicals, and I would write those down. And then in the Parkinson's research of music therapy, they have discovered, and you may have heard it in the news because there's now a prescription product based on this that's available for people with Parkinson's disease. But they basically, a lot of times you can help someone with Parkinson's to be able to move and with gait-related issues. And you may have seen video that some people have done where they show someone with Parkinson's that's struggling with gait, and then they put dance music on that they've danced to. And then it takes a little while for the brain to entrain to it. And then they're just able to let go of their walker and start dancing.
So I can dance better than I can walk. Wow.
So
I mean, this is right. This
Yeah.
is true therapy, and clearly, with the evidence-based component of it,
Yes.
that's how you're building on. Okay.
yes,
Yeah, my husband Rust was a violinist in symphonies, so many, many years ago, when he was very young. And he would not play his violin. He said, "No, I'm not going to play it." I still have it. I mean, it's years old, and it's an antique, actually. And but he would never play it. I said, "Russ," I said, "you used to play it in a symphony orchestra. Play it for me now." No. And he never picked up that violin to play it. And we were together from 1973 until he passed away in 96.
well, sorry.
And he wouldn't have anything to do with it, but he still had it. He wasn't. No, I'm not getting rid of it. I still have it also. But it's interesting because music does play a big part in an elder person's life, because he would listen to the radio, put the radio on, listen to music, and because he would sit in the chair and the TV would be on.
All right, Barbara. We're going to follow up on this, and we want to talk more about your journey and where it goes beyond this. But we need to take a break now. I'm Kevin McDonald with my co-host, Barbara Cochran, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM, 1220 KHTS.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host
Kevin McDonald.
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Alyssa Janney from Esteem Health. And we were talking about your mom and what
Yes.
she had been going through.
Yeah, she had. So I was working on creating a playlist for her with the help of a music therapist. And I was concerned about her gait because I believe that her dementia was related to Parkinson's. And so I knew that there was this research about Parkinson's and how you can use music as a tool to help with gait-related issues. So I wondered, could it stimulate motor function potentially? So I put, she was a very conservative Christian woman, so she didn't dance. And so I'm like, what do I do? She doesn't dance. So dance music isn't going to do it for her. But I'm like, wait a minute. She played the organ, and that's all four limbs moving at once, right?
Yes.
And so that's kind of like walking. So I put pipe organ music in her playlist, and she listened to it for a while, a week or two. I've forgotten exactly how long it was. But all of a sudden one day, she's sitting in her apartment with my dad, and all of a sudden she had a complete reversal of her advanced symptoms of dementia. And she had previously not been able to stand without help of two caregivers, not been able to walk for months, not been able to speak more than a couple of words, and she couldn't hold herself up. She was losing that core strength. And all of a sudden, she stood up by herself from the sofa, unaided, and walked through the apartment, held on to things because her legs were a little wobbly. But she held on to the furniture as she went through the apartment, took herself to the restroom. She came back out and had a conversation and made herself a snack in the kitchen. And of course, as soon as she spoke in a coherent sentence and stood up by herself, my father immediately stood to his feet and started applauding and praising God for this miracle. And so, and then she, fixed herself a snack, came and sat back down, and then she realized she'd forgotten to kiss my dad. So she got up and walked back over and gave him a kiss.
My goodness.
And then she went and sat back down. Now, because she was sitting, I don't know how much longer that lasted, but neurologists call that paradoxical lucidity. And it's a big term, but it basically means that it's something that happens with people toward the end of their life where they can have moments of clarity. So you may have heard about somebody that's able to suddenly remember someone's name, or they may be able to engage in a conversation or something. But when I talked to the people that I knew that were neuroscientists and music therapists, and they're like, I haven't heard of anything quite that complete before. And I'm like, okay, is it possible that this playlist was responsible for stimulating, that level of paradoxical lucidity? And is it possible that we could create a protocol to be able to allow people to do that? Because here's the snowball effect that I wanted to tell you about is, once you have to have two caregivers come in, it takes a while for two caregivers to get there because they're usually understaffed, and they just have a lot to do.
I went through that with my husband.
So that means that if they can't get there soon enough, even though, the person may know that they need to go to the bathroom, a lot of times they can't wait until somebody can get there to go. They don't physically have the ability to wait. So then you have incontinence that comes, and then that plays on people's feelings, because here...
And self-esteem and everything else, right?
Yes, everything else. And so you have this snowball that happens, and leading to increases in the cost of care and how people feel about themselves and about the care. And I just thought, is that possible? So I called someone that I knew that was a music therapist and a neuroscientist and said, okay, tell me if this is pie in the sky, because I don't want to devote the rest of my life to it if this is pie in the sky. I still remember Remo, no snake oil. I'm like, yes, that's right, exactly right, no snake oil. So she said, well, we're a few steps away from it in the research, but theoretically, yes, it's possible that we could develop a protocol that would allow people to find the music that will stimulate them to be able to do that. And I thought, wow, that reduces the cost of care. That reduces the need for, more caregivers, that just helps a lot of things, especially when we have a physician and a caregiver shortage combined these days. So that's what inspired me to start this, was that I thought, wow, it never occurred to me before how something that seemed so small as being able to stand on my, I would have been like, well, what's the big deal if somebody has to help her up? It's a big deal.
It's a big
Oh, yes,
It's
it
a
is.
big deal.
Yes,
when you
it
think
is.
about all the things that can happen if somebody can't be there when they're needed. So that's what got me headed on this direction. And then with my father also, he had Alzheimer's, and unfortunately, he was my parents were in facilities during COVID, and so there was a lockdown, which was really difficult, and I understood why it needed to happen, but it was pretty awful because my father was there in the room when my mother passed away. I was too. I was able to be there for the last 3 days that she was living, and but he didn't remember, and so he kept looking for my mother, and that was so heartbreaking because. And people that work in dementia care have this issue all the time, is that people will ask something, where's my mother? Where's my wife? And my father asked me this when I came to the window to visit, once window visits were allowed. And he said, do you know where your mother is? And that just broke my heart. But at that point, I hadn't seen him since I had to leave after she died, and just because I couldn't go in the facility. And I thought he deserves to have time to grieve.
Sure.
And so I said, Dad, I'm really sorry to tell you this. I said, but Mom passed away. And I said, you were there with her, and you took care of her the whole time, I said, but you don't remember it because you have Alzheimer's like your mother did. And he had a moment where he was grieving, and then he got distracted, and he went on with his day. So that was the blessing in it,
Sure.
is that he could be distracted and not, experience that pain over and over and over again. But yeah, those are the things that made me commit myself to trying to make a difference.
Well, what an inspiration that they were to you, and you're really still taking care of them through your music.
Well, I'm trying.
Right. But and helping so many others that could go through that time.
Well, my parents were
that's-
very community service committed people that took care of children for 40, 50 years of their lives. And so they really gave me a great foundation of this is what you do. if you want to have an enjoyable life,
Right.
you help others. So that's what.
Yeah, that's interesting because when Russ got so sick, I had to have someone come in at night so that I could get a good night's sleep.
Yes.
And
yes.
then he got worse. And then with onset dementia, and he had the, what's the name of it, where you lose your ability to walk and move? Begins with a P.
Parkinson's?
Parkinson's disease, yes. And I said to him, he said to me, I'm so glad you got long-term care insurance, because that really, really paid a lot of money, because home care is very expensive.
Yes.
And if you don't have some way to help with it, your money just disappears. And I fought him tooth and nail on getting it. He said, no, we don't need it. We've got the money. Well, I got it anyway. And he thanked me at later. He said, thank goodness you got that long-term care insurance, because it paid a substantial amount of his caregiving money that I needed to pay out.
That was
Of course,
great that
we
you
paid
had
out
that
a lot,
insight,
but
yeah.
and I still have it. For me, because I don't want my kids and my two families and extended families to have to pay to take care of me. So believe me, it's well worth purchasing, and I strongly urge people who are getting toward, retirement age or before that to get long-term care insurance because it is well worth it.
You all need a sponsor that sells long-term
There
care
you go.
insurance.
Oh, yes.
They're always looking for sponsors.
Oh, yes.
So I hear your story. Now, what is Esteem Health? I mean, where do you take it from there? You garnered this full sense of energy of saying, I'm going to make a difference. So explain to us what Esteem Health is and where's it going?
Well, STEAM, STEM, is an acronym, so I didn't misspell esteem.
Right.
It's
Fair enough.
It's exercise, science, technology,
it's a strong word.
engagement, arts, and medicine.
It's a strong word.
Yeah, I mean, it communicates from the sound of it what the main goal is.
Absolutely,
Is to
it does.
preserve dignity and be passionate and to esteem our elders, which I think we do less of in our country than we should.
Sure.
And, many other cultures, they revere older adults because they realize what wisdom they carry. And so I think that's what I want to do. But the reason I use the exercise, science, technology, engagement, arts, and medicine is because exercise is obviously one of the main things that we can do, most of us can do, to help improve our health and well-being.
Oh, yes.
One
Oh,
of the
yes.
challenges with getting us to exercise is the motivation component. That's where the engagement part comes in, is how do you engage people so that they want to? Well, when it becomes a pleasant experience, when it becomes something that you look forward to, and how do you do that? It's through the social connection. So all of our programs, Esteem Health is developing programs that are evidence-based. It takes time to develop, what is the appropriate level of evidence to be able to roll it out. So what we're trying to do is to build these programs and then to have continuous research so that we are able to see if the programs are effective. And if they are not working optimally, then we have this amazing team of experts from the Cleveland Clinic, from Mount Sinai Medical Center in New York City, from Pacific University. We've got
So you got some big shots
neuroscience.
behind you on this.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And so, and I'm missing some really important ones now, but I'll have to go to the webpage and pull up the advisor team.
That's what
and look.
happens as you get a little bit older.
But it sounds like you have some good backing of people that want to help you.
I felt like it was a miracle because when I came to these amazing experts that are way smarter than I ever thought about being, and I told them what happened with my mother, and I told them what my desire was, they said, yeah, we'll help you, and so I've got this just an amazing team of advisors, and it's just been a dream. I mean, I couldn't imagine how the doors were just flung open.
Yes.
And I'm like, what's going on?
Right.
I'm like, something's happening here. This is
heavens opened
unusual.
The heavens opened up.
And the purpose was developed.
Yeah, so we're trying to do that. We're trying to research so that we can do continuous improvement of the programming, and then that we will be able to constantly be modifying. Now, I'm not interested in reinventing the wheel, so where organizations like REMO that have developed evidence-based programming that we can use have that, then we are going to license that content from them so that we can put it into these senior facilities so that they will always have the most cutting-edge programming that's available.
Wow. Well, what a gift for our communities,
So-
especially for the senior communities. That's a gift
Wow.
to have
It
that
really
evidence base
is.
behind you, to give them an option for so many, like you said, lowering. What was your list before? You were like, it's going to lower depression, it's going to increase self-esteem, anxiety is going to be reduced.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
talk about bing,
It's
bing,
so-
bing,
yes,
bing,
social
bing.
It's gonna make
connection,
you
reduce
happier.
loneliness. Yes,
Right.
yes,
Make you happier.
yes, yes.
Oh, incredible.
How do we get a hold of you and learn more about this?
Well, on Esteem Health, there's a appointment form. You can just fill
What's
out.
the website?
It's esteam health.com.
pretty easy.
that's
It's
pretty easy.
esteemhealth.com. Spell esteem again because it's going to mess me up.
ESTEAM.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Probably
So
the way
A
I would have
instead of
spelled it
T's.
anyway. That's-
Oh, wow.
and is there a phone number to reach you at? Or
Sure. 505-433.
That's okay. Sorry to get you on the spot. It's in my cell phone.
It is in my cell phone. I don't even know.
505-433.
I don't even know my children's
All right,
numbers. You
let's
know?
let's skip the
Oh, I
let's skip
know.
the phone number. Let's go right back to the website again.
So it's Esteem Health, ESTEAM health.com. And the phone number is 505-433-4054.
Wow. All right. When we come back, we're going to follow up on this. I know you got some big programs coming up in January. We're going to go back to that. So that's exciting. What a journey, isn't it? Just to listen
Absolutely.
to what, and you're just trying to make an impact. So
That's the whole point.
all right.
Yes.
We need to take a break now. I'm Kevin McDonald with my co-host Barbara Cochran on your hometown station 98.1 FM, 1220 KHTS.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host
Kevin McDonald.
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Alyssa Janney of Esteem Health. And it's terrible. We have to leave. You have to leave us after
I
this.
know, it doesn't seem like it's been an hour, does it?
No, but it's been such an interesting time.
Well, thank you. I
Yes.
thoroughly have enjoyed it and appreciate the honor of being here with you both.
That's
Now,
wonderful.
I want to get to one question before I
Yes.
get the superpower you talked about.
Ah,
Just give me that answer because I'm interested in superpowers.
so the superpower that I got while I was working at Remo, I think came from the KHTS trips that we took, the community trips up to Sacramento and to
Yes.
Washington, D.C. And just the way Carl ran the thing, I mean, that having us change seats every so often so that we, got to know everybody
That
on
was
the trip.
incredible.
It was amazing.
It really was.
And
What a great idea.
and he just really taught me through that, really how to network and
Okay.
how to look into to try to understand how what we were doing might be able to benefit the community at large. And so that's the superpower.
Another
Networking.
event in your life of networking. And the
Yeah.
KH trip is coming up in March. There's still tickets on sale from what I understand.
Oh,
And we're
if you can go, you
we're
gotta
going to
go.
Sacramento.
It's just
So-
amazing.
Yeah, those trips are incredible. In fact, I met one of my best friends on one of those trips
Yeah.
many, many years ago. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. And he and I are best friends now, It's just,
It's great.
Yep.
just great.
All right. Esteem Health. Do you have something you want to share, a quote or a story?
I do. I was talking about how great our advisors are, and I asked one of our advisors, who's Dr. Annie Heiderscheit. She's the director of the Cambridge Institute for Music Therapy Research in the UK. And she said, I said, can you explain the value of our art of high-performance caregiving training? And she says, high-performance caregiving is an art because it requires more than endurance. It demands presence, precision, and compassion. It's the practice of showing up fully for someone else while still honoring our own humanity. When we treat caregiving as an art form, we transform the work from a cycle of exhaustion into a discipline of connection, resilience, and purpose. And that's what we're trying to do with the art of
Yes.
high-performance caregiving.
Yes.
I brought these little cards, and we believe that compassion that's empowered by science equals caregiving that's elevated to art.
Wow.
And so we want to provide caregivers with the support that they need. I was kind of shocked to find out that about 40% of the caregivers in the country haven't had the benefit of more than a 7th or 8th grade education.
Right.
But yet they're dealing with things, life and death, things all the time.
Yes. And then there's so many. I mean, LA County alone hires tens of thousands to do
Yes,
this.
yes.
And that lack of training and bringing that arts into it is such an important part.
Yeah, and we're using the arts like the Karate Kid. Mm-hmm. So where he taught him, how to become a karate expert by teaching him to scrub the floor and paint the fence. We're not teaching those things, but we're
Right.
using arts-based activities to help learn critical thinking skills and other things.
And
really
supporting
hard.
the caregiver and making the caregivers
Yes.
even better.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
all of us are caregivers, and we want to be better who we're
Happier.
serving.
Yes,
Happier.
yes.
It is a job, basically. But you need to be comfortable and happy in doing that job.
Yes,
And that's what's important.
and we're very fortunate that we can help them learn these high-level skills very quickly because of our development partnership with Creating Futures That Work.
And who's sponsoring you with? Because I know you're coming to give a class.
Remo, as the Remo Music
Okay.
Center, is hosting the training.
Okay,
and it's
also
January 8th and
Creative
9th.
Futures at Work, are they involved?
Creating Futures at Work is our training development partner.
Oh, great.
Yes, yeah.
Well, you got some good backing.
We have some wonderful people, yes.
Tell us again, how do we reach you? What's your website, and who do we go to get more information? Because this is a movement that's not going to stop.
I hope so. It's Esteem Health, ESTEAM, health.com. And the phone number is 505-433-4054.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thanks for
Thanks for
exciting,
having
a very
me.
fast and exciting
Good
hour.
heavens, I can't believe
let's
it's
do a
been
shake.
so
Are we going
long.
to shake out?
There we go. There we go.
All right, you've been listening to the Senior Hour on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care and Providence Holy Cross Medical Center. Now go and enhance your quality of life.